There's a quick one that once again backs up why I say guys don't get in a relationship with girls that have a bunch of guy friends. Guy friends, best friends, that type of thing. Guys that hang out with, guys they talk to all the time on apps or social media or texting or phone calls or whatever. Guys that are there for her whenever she's down, her male therapist. Because it's just going to bring problems to your relationship. And these are things you spot early on. And then you decide when you're dating her, oh, this ain't going to work. And otherwise, you're going to always have that guy in the picture. It's going to cause problems, and it's just simply not worth it. And our guy here learns that eventually and dumps his girl. And of course, he's having a meltdown over this whole thing. Title: I, a 23-year-old male, ended my relationship with my girl because of her guy best friend. What is the rational thing to do? He says, I've been dating my girl for about 8 months now. She has a guy best friend who she's very close with. He got her through the toughest times in college, they studied together, and he helped her get through a nasty breakup that she said made her feel the worst depression in her life. So he's super important to her. I understood this before I started dating her. Well, smack to you for dating her and getting involved with it, thinking that it's not going to be a problem. Okay? Guess what? Guys don't spend all these times with girls unless they're hoping to get in their pants, or one day have that hope. Maybe they were rejected once and they stayed in the friend zone, okay? Particularly a good-looking woman. Men and women can't be friends. The only way it works is if both of them have zero attraction for each other, okay? So if his girlfriend's good-looking, which I'm going to assume she's above average looks, or at least good-looking enough, there's always going to be some guy who's going to want to bang her, okay? Period. That's just how it works. And it's not going to work. But this guy invited this by getting in a relationship with her. He should have just said, nope. We can date, we can be friends with benefits, whatever, but not get in a relationship. So they talk basically every day on the phone. Sometimes for 5 to 15 minutes, and other times for up to an hour. They say, I love you, bud, whenever they hang up. I mentioned initially that it made me somewhat uneasy, but she said, I'd never date him. He knows too much about me, and never date me, ha ha. Bro, this is your problem. You should have gotten involved with her, and if you did, you established boundaries. That, no, this ain't cool. I don't want my girl talking to some dude every day for like an hour and all this type of thing. No. You think she'd like you talking to some good-looking girl? I think not. This guy just brought all these problems onto himself. So I didn't want to push or make her drop her friend. Sometime in the past few months, her guy best friend got broken up with. His girlfriend mentioned how often he talked with my girl as one of the reasons. So he became depressed and started talking even more with my girlfriend. And she said, considering how he was there for her, when she went through a tough time, she needs to be there for him. And I said that was fine. Smack. You're trying to be the nice guy boyfriend, and she doesn't care. She knows she's disrespecting you, or she doesn't care if she's disrespecting you and bothering you. You're number 2. He's number 1. And we haven't gotten to the subject that they're actually hooking up together. Think about it. There's a saying, guys, you remember the movie War Games and the line of the winning move is not to play? He's in a relationship with her. If he stays with her, he's going to be unhappy, miserable, and things remain as they are, so he loses. If he says that's that, basically we're breaking up, or you cut off your guy friend, and they stay in the relationship, it's going to be miserable because she's going to be miserable and he's being controlling and all this type of thing with her guy friend. The winning move is not to play. In other words, don't get involved with a girl that has close guy friends that they don't want to let go of. But he has to learn. So anyway, their talking increases, and sometimes when we hang out, she's talking with him on the phone. And you're too much of a pussy to establish boundaries. By this time, I'm getting a little uneasy. So I told her about it, and she assured me that it was like a brother to her. And I said, okay, but I mentioned if we were to become an actual couple with marriage and as a possibility, that I felt uneasy about my fiance talking to another guy every day. Dude, don't say uneasy. She's probably, if she's not laughing at you, in some capacity she is, whether she realizes it or not, because you're acting, I'm uneasy. No, you check your girl. Or better yet, you end the relationship. This is not going to work. At first she brushed it off because she doesn't give a shit. But later on, she mentioned that she's still planning to talk to her best friend every day. See? Because he's more important than you are. I'm not sure if I'm being controlling, so tell me if I am. You're not. But doesn't it seem weird for someone in a serious relationship to talk to someone in the opposite sex every day, who isn't their partner? In my head, I just think it's somewhat disrespectful. It's incredibly disrespectful, but she knows you're not going anywhere. She knows there's no consequences. period. This is what happens when women become too comfortable with a guy and think he isn't going anywhere. She doesn't respect you. You are a low man on the totem pole. And frankly, I wouldn't respect you either for allowing this. In my head, I just think it's somewhat disrespectful. I think there's the cheating fear in my head, but ignoring cheating for a second, it just seems a little disrespectful to their partner. I pressed on this and it became a huge fight, so we made up and she said something like, I'll show you you're always going to be number one, even if my bestie is always going to be number two, and I dropped it. Smack! So nothing's changed. Fast forward to recently and she told me she's going on a trip with her bestie. It's a solo trip and they're going to stay in different hotel rooms, but apparently it's something they planned since college since they both have family in Canada or something. So they're going on a trip together, just her and him. But they're going to stay in separate hotel rooms. Sure. I know how this sounds and it definitely looks like cheating. But I'll say based on my relationship and understanding with her, I'm 95% sure it's not cheating. Sure, dude. But still, in my head, a solo trip with another guy is unacceptable even if there's no cheating. Let's just take out let's just say hypothetically there actually is no cheating going on. She just sees him like a brother, but she's fixated on him. She has an attachment issue to him. He's her therapist. Regardless, it's disrespectful. Regardless, she knows how you feel about the issue and doesn't give a shit. And this asshole doesn't care either. You're a joke to him. This guy deserves an ass whooping. Or better yet, you break up with her. I think at this point, I was at my limit and didn't want to give an ultimatum or make her choose between a guy she's dating for less than a year and her best friend of 6+ years. So I ended it. Thank the Lord. I thought I was done and didn't want to live like this with my partner if behavior like this was going to continue. She's been extremely distraught and has been trying to get back with me ever since, but it's in my head it's done. However, if I'm being irrational, I'm open to discuss this. What is the rational way for me to go about this situation? Bro, the rational way is the winning move is not to play. You can't win in this situation. She has your number, or at least her perception of you is no matter what she does, you're going to stick around. She knows all along you don't like the situation with her and her male best friend, but yet you knew this going into the relationship with her, and you started seeing her anyway, probably hoping she'd change. She's not going to change. She gets the best of both worlds. If she isn't actually cheating on you physically or something like that, and I have a hard time believing that. But this guy obviously knows what he's doing. He doesn't give a shit. He likes the drama. He's probably a little bitch himself that secretly wants her, or he is getting her, I don't know. But you stay with her in this relationship, you're going to be miserable. Or you make your demand, say that's it, no more male best friend ever, and she stays with you, and then she's miserable because she doesn't have him, and she hates you for being controlling and blah, blah, blah. So the winning move is not to play. Therefore, you break up with her and move on. This is why you don't be friends with, get in a relationship with a girl that has a bunch of guy friends, particularly a male best friend. And this is why you date. And in that dating period, where she'd usually be about 6 months before you get into an exclusive relationship, or at least pretty close to that, to let her work to get you, you can see what her situation is with guys that she knows. And if she has a situation like this, you now know, not relationship material. You can bang her. She can be a friends with benefits or a fuck buddy, but that's it. And obviously these guys are more important to you, then that's it. But you just jumped into your relationship with her knowing full well what was going to happen, and look what happened. But this is also, guys, what happens when your woman doesn't respect you, and you don't check her, and you don't establish boundaries. Bullshit is going to happen. And by the time he does try to establish boundaries, too late. She thinks that you're weak. She doesn't think you're going to do anything. Now she's upset and distraught, as he said. And look where they're going right now. But he's done, and he should be done. So let this be a lesson. So he ended it well. I'm glad he broke up with her, but he wasted 8 months of this bullshit. What could have been prevented? So hopefully he'll learn, and me doing this video here will help some guys understand not to get themselves in a situation like this. I certainly hope that can come from this video. Good luck.